Are you stuck in survival mode, avoiding pain at all costs? If the answer is yes, in this video I'm going to share 3 practical tips that are going to help you to navigate from pain, to find strength and to create a life that you actually truly love. If this is a topic that resonates or sparks your curiosity, please stick around. For anyone new to this channel, hello, I am Tanya. I am a rapid transformational therapist and coach, and I empower women over the age of 40 to truly authentically love themselves and show up for themselves in order for them to thrive in whichever phase of life they may find themselves. Now, what I've actually been doing in this this is the 3rd part of a little series on the psychology, the science, and then the practical tips as to why we avoid pain and we're seeking pleasure, but sometimes that pleasure might be short-lived, in order for us to take some uncomfortable action or figure out why we try and avoid taking the uncomfortable action and therefore keep ourselves stuck because we're limiting our ability to grow and expand our comfort zone. So today in this video, it's all about the actionable tips that will help you step out of the pain and push you into your power, because I truly believe our best tool and also our worst tool is our brain. If we use our brain in an effective way, we can actually thrive in life. But if we let the brain run everything in our lives, then we are at the mercy of it, and therefore we feel stuck and we are caught in that kind of pain vicious circle. So we've got the control, we've got the ability to control the thoughts and the feelings and the actions that we take, but we need to be aware of the psychology, the science, and the practical tips in order to enable us to start taking those small incremental steps. So the first bit is shifting from numbing to awareness. And what we tend to do is that when things get uncomfortable, we try and numb out, we try and avoid, we suppress. It is just human nature for us to do it. But Brené Brown has got a quote that really resonates, and that is, we cannot selectively numb emotions. And what that means is, if we're feeling uncomfortable and as a result we're in that kind of pain and suffering, we can't just make that emotion go numb. It numbs out all the positive emotions as well. It's an all or nothing, which means emotions are like waves. They come and go. They've got peaks and then they've got troughs. Now, if you are aware of what your emotions are, you will see that your emotions do not last a very long time. They come and they go. They've got peaks and troughs. Even if you were depressed, there will be moments throughout your day where you actually feel pleasure. There are things that you're going to do that you would, if you weren't in a deep rest state, then you would be celebrating the small victory if you were self-aware of it. But the reality is, most of us are operating on autopilot, and we let the subconscious mind run the show, and we get little glimpses now and again of that we are present, that we are mindful, that we are aware of the words that we're actually saying, the thoughts that we're thinking, the feelings that we're experiencing. But those moments are fleeting, and this is where, by building that muscle of awareness, it actually will give us more and more moments that I would refer to as lucid moments, where you're really present and you're like, oh wow, I'm thinking that, and therefore I'm feeling that, and I'm experiencing that, and therefore that is the action that I'm taking, or maybe the action that I am not taking as a result of those thoughts, feelings that we're experiencing. So when you've been tempted to numb because you're feeling discomfort and pain with distractions, whether it is Netflixing, binge watching, scrolling through social media, whether it is eating food or drinking or vaping, smoking, whatever your vice may be, to numb yourself from actually feeling the emotions, think about, when you're actually doing that numbing, are you actually feeling better? Or are you actually feeling numb? You're feeling nothing. Or are you self-judging? Is the inner dialogue actually starting to criticize and judge you for not taking the uncomfortable action, for just wasting time, or whatever the kind of response might be to your numbing activity? And this is where, by becoming aware, then you can actually, oh, I'm aware of this. Now I've got options, I've got choices. I can either do nothing and just keep repeating this pattern, or I can actually start course correcting, taking small incremental steps to change the behavior and patterns. And then I'll get a different result. I'll get a different experience as a result. The second practical tip is about building a supporting network, and this is where a lot of us are surrounded by people that are well-intentioned, they genuinely care and love us, but their thoughts, their patterns, their inner dialogue, the way that they show up for themselves and for others can be like negative. It can be not productive, and as a result they say that you are the sum total of the 5 people that you spend more time with. So if the people that you're surrounding with are people that are constantly blaming and complaining and negative and staying in their comfort zone, that they are never wanting to change, then they're going to want you, in order for them to belong and feel loved and connected, they'll want you to stay there in that kind of pattern of behavior. But if you've got a circle of people that you're associating with where they're encouraging you, they're empowering you, they're trying to get you to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, where you see that even uncomfortable action is an opportunity to experiment, try different things, to see that, like, the insanity bit is keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. We all want our lives to improve, our lives to be different, and as a result, we need to take action, we need to change, something different needs to happen. But when we're stuck in that kind of pain cycle, then we're never willing, we're never encouraged, we're never empowered to take that action. Now, whether it is that for all the kind of negative aspects of social media, there are some positive. There are a lot of forums and groups, and there's a lot of kind of channels, whether it is on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, where we're trying to promote this message. In this channel, this is what I'm trying to do, is create a tribe where we've got like-minded people that want to be heard, that we want our voices and our opinions or our thoughts to be heard so we can be understood, and therefore be empowered, encouraged, inspired to take brave, courageous action, because changing isn't going to result in massive results straight away. You might need to persevere, you might need to be consistently taking action before you actually see the rewards and you notice the progress. If you've never been self-aware, becoming self-aware is something that you need to work at. And therefore, as a result of being courageous and making the changes, then you can actually be free to experience life, and whatever freedom means for you, whether it is time freedom, whether it is money freedom, whether it is knowledge freedom, whether it is being actually kind and compassionate to yourself. And that all starts with us being empowered to take that kind of, make the change, make that leap into the unknown and push that comfort zone out. So find people, because there's loads of people, there's loads of us. Join this community, subscribe to this channel, and join the kind of discussion. Share where you're at, what you would want to get support, what kind of content would actually add value to you, because there's a lot of reading, there's a lot of material that I've actually consumed over the past 25 years. Some of it I've put into practice, others maybe not necessarily until fairly recently, but there's benefits and rewards that you actually gain from actually taking radical responsibility and shifting the way that you think. and therefore the way that you feel and the way that you behave. So find a mentor, find a coach, find a therapist, find a group, find someone that's actually going to support you, and therefore you will be encouraged to take that uncomfortable action. And then the third kind of tip is about taking small, consistent action, because Rome wasn't built in a day. A six-pack wasn't achieved by going to the gym once. It is the constant repetition that you're actually doing that you are then tracking and monitoring to see the millimeter progress improvements that you're making. And journaling, self-reflection, discussions, watching content that challenges your thinking, reading books that expand your worldview, then you've actually got tools and tips and techniques that you can incorporate into your daily life in order for you to start taking the action. Because as I said, when it's unfamiliar, you will be in that pain situation where you won't want to take the action. But by persisting, then you build resilience, you build grit, you build resistance, and as a result, then you build power and strength as well. And Atomic Habits is a book that I've mentioned a number of times by James Clear. Lots of content creators mention it because it gives you practical tools as to how to incorporate new patterns of behavior in a way that it is sustainable, that you can keep on showing up for yourself. But it all starts with you being brave enough to actually take that first step and make the decision that you want to change. So remember, moving through pain doesn't need to be overwhelming, and at the same time, it can enable you to find an inner strength that you weren't even aware that you had, and that self-awareness is absolutely crucial. So if this content has resonated, if you've not watched the other two videos, I'll sort of link at the end screen the 3-part series so you can actually go and watch that content. If this content has resonated with you, if you vibe with my vibe, please like and subscribe and join the channel. Comment in the comments below what you found useful, what would you want to see in future videos and content. If you believe someone in your life would benefit from watching this video and hearing me recall the kind of 3 practical tips, please share it with them. So until the next one, please go out and seize the day. Have the most amazing day. Figure out how you're going to navigate from pain to pleasure and to strength and resilience and achieve the thriving life that you deserve and are fully worthy of. And remember, there's choices in life, so choose wisely. Bye until the next one.